Hello everyone, Nika here with your daily neuro nugget. By the way, thank you guys all so much. I literally just tallied the Cash App donations for my favorite veteran, Craig, because I want him to breathe. We want him to breathe. And we know the VA is not the best. And we know that sometimes if things are not service connected, well, they don't really help veterans. So I went on my own with the help of you guys. The goal to get Craig's oxygen compressor is $500. The cost of the oxygen compressor is $600. That's of course without taxes and shipping fees and everything else. So I plan to pay the extra $100 or so, but my goal is $500 and we are at $190. With inflation, with everything else being so expensive, that just means so much to me. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I am very confident that we will get to $500. It's just a matter of time, but I really wanted to thank all of you because it means so much to give even just $5. I mean, something as basic as breathing is nice to do. So I'm positive that Craig is going to be extremely ecstatic when we reach our goal. So thank you guys. Now, we have a lot to cover today, a lot to cover. I'm going to be analyzing the new documents, legal documents that just dropped, and I want everybody to pay close attention to the stuff that is being released in these legal documents because Ann Taylor has a lot to say, and she points to law enforcement and FBI agency behind the scene potentially doing their own thing. So I'm going to be covering that. I know that you guys love the herbal portion, the medicinal tea portion of this channel. So I have an amazing beverage today. It's one of my favorites. I love rose tea. First of all, I'm a scents type of woman, and this has such a pleasant aroma because of course it opens up with these beautiful fresh rose petals, right? And I normally use 1 to 3 teaspoons, steep it for about 3 to 5 minutes in about 8 ounces of hot water. This is actually amazing chilled. And a little secret, this is actually very good on a rare occasion to be mixed with an adult beverage. I like to mix it with an asti or a kava. So it really enhances the floral notes in those wines, and I sometimes will even add a little sprig of fresh mint. So this is very refreshing. I love drinking it chilled with an asti or a kava, some mint, maybe a drop or 2 of maple syrup when I'm not drinking it with the adult beverage. So this is extremely high in vitamin C and E, so it's great for lessening wrinkles, for sunburns, healthy skin, nails, hair. In Ayurvedic medicine, this tea is used for indigestion, bloating, cramping, menstrual cramping as well. And it's just really tasty. So mildly sweet with a slightly bitter edge. I really need to get that clear mug you guys showed me because it does have a slight pink hue to it. So cheers. Now, you know, things are about to get real when I pull the hair clip out because some of us ADHD people love to play with our hair and we need to concentrate. So I'm going to pin it back today, and don't mind me, I'm going to be looking down at my notes because I don't want to forget anything. Remember, I'm sort of skimming through these legal documents and I'm just giving you what I feel is the most important stuff that I want to get across to you guys because it's so important. Again, just like yesterday's video, the FBI is mentioned yet again in these legal documents. So yes, of course, we are going to question everything. And of course, we are going to put the puzzle pieces together. Now, the first document that I want to cover is the objection to the closed hearings because this is one of my pet peeves from the get-go. In this case, Ann Taylor has wanted everything to be out in the open, but the state has not wanted that. They always want to close the hearings. They always want to seal the documents. So it just makes me wonder, well, if they are so sure Mr. Brian Kohberger is the guy and they are positive that their information was gathered in a legal way, why the need to seal? Why the need to close all hearings? Why? Why, Billy? Why? So annoying. Now, this document goes on to say there is no legitimate reason that a motion to compel discovery should be shielded from the public. I agree. Thank you, Anne and Jay and Alyssa. Amazing lawyers. They're all fired up, which I'm loving. I'm digging these documents and the hearings. It also mentions the process of sealing is being abused by the state, law enforcement, and the FBI to hide how discovery is being withheld. Did we just not talk about this yesterday? Wow. So here we have these amazing lawyers calling out the state, law enforcement, and FBI, hiding discovery. And if you know anything about law, you understand this is what? This is illegal. This is illegal. This is against the law. Meaning what? Meaning the state and law enforcement, people who are supposed to be enforcing the laws, and the FBI are all breaking the law. Yeah. Thank you, Anne, for making it so clear. Now, she goes on to say, testimony and argument on information sought by Mr. Kohberger does not meet the narrow scope of what the state can shield from public view. Idaho Court Admin Rule 32. So this means what? This means that the state is not allowed to seal this information. And they cannot withhold this hearing from the public. Not legally. This is what? This is unlawful. So when you have law enforcement and the state and the FBI all working together, all breaking the law together, should we not be concerned? Yes, we should be concerned. Because why? Because we all deserve the right to fair trial. And people forget that even if Mr. Kohberger is guilty or not guilty, we don't know. We don't know, not yet. That doesn't give the state and law enforcement and the FBI the right to break the law, right? Two wrongs do not make a right, right? Right? I hope we can all agree on that. The document says there is no authority to protect the FBI, state, or law enforcement, but denying Mr. Kohberger an open hearing is a clear violation of his rights. Yes, 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 girl, yes. Yes, this is a big deal. Again, she is pointing how the state and LE and the FBI are violating the rights of Mr. Kohberger. And she kind of throws a sharp jab in there, right? By saying that there's no authority to protect these people, these agencies. So why is that happening? The only goal of a trial is to ensure that both sides follow the law and solve the case in a lawful manner. Not protecting the FBI, not protecting the judge, not protecting the state even. That is not the goal. And what are we to do if Anne wrote in this document that Mr. Kohberger's rights are being violated? Is the state, is the FBI, is LE going to be held accountable, or are we just going to pretend it's not a big deal? Wake up, people. Sometimes, you know what happens? People realize that what took place was not okay. And then by the time they realize that, well, it's too freaking late. So don't give up your rights, people. Pay attention to what's going on in the world. not only in this case, in general, because once your rights are stripped, you are never getting them back. So good luck. Stay alert. The state has failed to provide requested items that were asked for in the request for discovery. That is also illegal. You cannot withhold discovery from the defendant. You can't do that. Yet time and time again for months now, Mr. Kohberger's team has requested discovery time and time again. And what do they get? They get nothing. They get the line that we've all learned by now. It does not exist. Or we don't have it, the FBI has it. Whoever has it, they need to come up with that information. Why? Because if we are wanting a fair trial for the sake of constitutional rights, but also for the sake of the poor, beautiful victims, because we want actual justice, not obstructed justice or planted sheath justice. You never know, right? So many things, so many theories. The next document I'm going to be covering is the motion to unseal parts of the IgG materials. It does not fit requirements to be sealed as information similar to this has been made public in other cases, such as the case of the Golden State Killer. The court order is being abused by the state and FBI, and the refusal to permit Mr. Kohberger to expose this to the public is a clear violation of his rights in a public trial. So what are both of these new documents saying? That the state and law enforcement and the FBI are breaking the law and violating the rights of Mr. Brian Christopher Kohberger. Yeah. So what are we to do? How are we to hold the court accountable? How are we going to hold the FBI and law enforcement accountable? If you did not watch yesterday's video, please go watch that, because I talk about how embedded the FBI has been in this case since day one. Not a good sign. Not a good sign. Then we have the notice of defendant supplemental response to state's alibi demand. So basically, this is Billy's response. Billy, in this document, basically goes on to say that the alibi is not good enough. It's not specific enough. They want names of witnesses. They want addresses. Meaning what? Meaning that if I am a single woman who happens to be driving alone for whatever reason, and I don't have a person with me, and I don't have a specific address at a specific minute in time, then it means I am screwed, right? That's what that means. And let's be real. If we were to ask Billy today where he was at yesterday at 4:34 p.m. on the dot, would he be able to tell us? A lot of people would not know. If you ask me where I was at 9:27 this morning, I probably would not be able to know and tell you specifically what street was I on at that very specific minute. So here we have Billy complaining, saying the alibi is not good enough. It's been 11 months. We've been asking for an alibi and we have nothing. But Anne, for even longer, has been asking for discovery. And she gets nothing. So there needs to be a deadline so that both parties get what they want. As far as Billy getting a specific address or witness, how is he supposed to get that information if there is nobody there? If Brian was alone in the middle of nowhere by himself. But then you have Bethany and Dylan, who were supposedly alone, and they still cannot tell us about the 8-hour gap, right? There is still no explanation for that. But we'll pretend that doesn't exist. Let's focus on where Mr. Kohberger was at, because he can't give us a proper alibi. So we'll just do illegal things and violate his rights and withhold discovery and try to seal hearings and documents and privatize everything, although it's not legal in this case. As Anne mentioned in these documents, plenty of references. So, very interesting. Now, I'm going to be working tomorrow all day, basically, but if you guys have time, there is going to be a hearing at 10 a.m. Idaho time, May 2nd, tomorrow, I believe, yeah. I've lost track of the days and the years. So if you have time, watch that hearing tomorrow and keep me updated because you guys will probably get to it before I do. And of course, I will be covering how that hearing went. It is supposed to be live streamed. So I'm actually very curious. I'm going to grab my popcorn, hopefully, if I can watch it, after work for a little bit, because I have a feeling that Billy's going to lose his mind again. Maybe Judge will lose his mind again. We know they were not cool, calm, collected. It's been a freaking circus. That is it for today, people. Cheers. I will leave my Cash App in the description if you want to donate for Craig. I know this case is, I know it's horrible. I know some people can't mentally handle it, but at the end of the day, I feel like today's one of those days where I want to remind everyone that despite all the trash in this world, there are still very good things in the world. And I don't know, maybe I am one of those people, half glass full type of person. I'm the type of person who is up at 3 a.m. and is like ready to live life and be happy and bring that positive energy to the people that I work with, my colleagues, my patients, my the high IQ ADD people I tutor. It's still a great place to be regardless. So I know it's very easy to spiral down into negativity when we talk about these horrible things, but when you have positive things that you can also focus on, I think it makes you a more balanced human being. So just remember that as we go forward. A lot of people have had to step away from watching videos on here, including my channel. So if that's something that you need to do because you cannot handle it, as somebody with several degrees in psychology, I have to tell you, you have to take care of yourself. You come before anyone else, and your mental health and physical health come before anyone else. So you do you. And when you have collected yourself and you feel complete, you feel whole, then maybe you can reintroduce yourself to these topics again because they're very adrenaline inducing, right? So I just wanted to put that out there for the day. So you guys have a wonderful night. Take care of yourselves. And if you guys end up watching the hearing tomorrow, let me know. Send me a comment. By the way, if you like this video, leave a little heart and leave a comment down below and share, subscribe, sign up for notifications, all the good stuff, Why not, right? You're already here. So good night.